Welcome back. Now, the inspiring story of a young woman who's making her dream come true, a dream that started in the midst of a brutal civil war. Michaela DePrince was born in Sierra Leone and orphaned at just 3 years old. As Jessica Brown explains, in the midst of that tragedy, her dream of becoming a ballerina was born.
When the music starts, it's time for class for these ballerinas at the Boston Ballet. It's 6.5 hours a day of training, dancing from their hands to their pointed toes.
Dancers wake up and the first thing they ask themselves, oh my God, how's my body? They're like, joints, muscles are beat up from the yesterday, and then they get going.
Each dancer has a different story, but for Michaela DePrince, hers is about overcoming. Michaela was born in Sierra Leone, West Africa. She lost both of her parents during the Civil War at the age of 3 and was left in an orphanage where she says she was taunted, neglected, and abused.
It was a moment where I just felt helpless. I had nothing.
Ballet, she says, saved her spirit.
I felt like I didn't have anything to have a future or nothing to look forward to. And then I found this magazine in the orphanage, and it was a picture of a ballerina. She looked so beautiful and so elegant, and I just wanted to find my own fairy tale.
A dream come true when she was adopted by a family from New Jersey. Michaela showed her adopted mother the photo, and she enrolled her in ballet at the age of 4.
I feel like I didn't really give her a choice. I knew I wanted to do this, and this was my passion, and I had to make sure my passion would happen.
Passion and determination. Michaela worked hard to become a professional ballerina, something that's difficult to do, but she says it's even harder when you don't fit the mold.
There are moments where you feel like I'm not good enough, and I had a lot of teachers saying, well, we don't really believe in black ballerinas, or we think you're gonna end up getting fat with big boobs and big thighs, you should just be a modern dancer. There's a lot of people who didn't believe in me.
Michaela is one of a small number of black classical ballerinas in the world. Plus, she has vitiligo, a skin condition that takes away pigment. She says she found strength through mentors and from watching those who danced before her.
And I'm very lucky, like there was Lauren Anderson. I had somebody to look up to at Houston Ballet. Heidi Cruz at Pennsylvania Ballet when I was younger. There's also Misty Copeland. There's not a lot of us, but what I always try to think about and what my passion is spread more poppies in a field of daffodils. So to have more black and brown dancers.
Now, Michaela's perseverance paying off. Dancing on world-class stages from Johannesburg, South Africa, to becoming a soloist with the Dutch National Ballet. Making a name that landed her in British Vogue, Nike campaigns, even getting handpicked by Beyonce to dance a solo in the Freedom music video from her Lemonade album.
I did not believe it actually happened for a while. I was like, it must have been a dream. It was an incredible, especially that whole opportunity just to be surrounded by so many black and brown, beautiful women, and having that. I haven't had that in my life a lot, and that really encouraged me. And to meet Queen Bee, it was just like absolutely amazing.
Back in the ballet class, Michaela is getting ready for her next performance, hoping her passion inspires others to go for theirs.
It's for the black and brown dancers, for the next generation, and I want to show everybody that you don't need to have these obstacles define you. You can be whatever you want, and you can dream as big as you possibly want to dream.
And Michaela wrote a book about her journey called Taking Flight: From War Orphan to Star Ballerina, and it will soon be a major motion picture. And now she's back on stage with the Boston Ballet. Well, the little-known story of one of the first-known black classical composers is hitting the silver screen. Chevalier tells the story of Joseph Boulogne's rise in 18th century French society, despite being the illegitimate son of an African slave and a French plantation owner. Much of his work was destroyed and forgotten when Napoleon Bonaparte banned Boulogne's music. Kevin Harrison Jr. portrays the Chevalier de Saint-Georges.
My name is Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
May I play with you, monsieur?
I had never heard of him before, which is a real shame, honestly. But now I do. I know a lot about him now, I guess.
Well, I hope this won't be embarrassing for you.
I went to LA and I had a violin teacher there, and then I went to Prague and I had a violin teacher there, and I would do 6 hours a day. 7 days a week, no day off, and I just try to keep it consistent. Chevalier de Saint-Georges was Joseph Boulogne, who is a young kid who is the son of a plantation owner and a slave owner, and the son of a slave.
Welcome to Paris, Joseph.
Monsieur, I fear this will not be a kind place to such a boy.
The boy has talent, but one in particular that is exceptional.
Very well.
I realized the more I excelled, the less I was alone.
You're always so competitive.
I think in this movie we see that he's an incredible fencer, and he was the best fencer in Paris at the time, and that's what got the attention of Marie Antoinette and the king. But he was an incredible dancer, and I think there's something so important to know about, like, that there's a lyricism and a melody and a understanding of the body and what is moving through you as a dancer, and I think that comes across in his showmanship as a musician. Yeah, I think that's also just one of the things that makes him so special. I think that's why he's also a great fencer. He's one with himself.
You are quite a remarkable man, Joseph. I, Marie Antoinette, Queen of France, hereby anoint you Chevalier.
Any other country, a man of your color would not be wearing such fine clothes.
He's a powerhouse. He's a powerhouse, a force to be reckoned with just so many missed opportunities to know where he's directing that knowingness and that power. And that's pretty much, that's the soul of the guy.
You're a party trick. You're a pet playing the violin, that is all.
You know I am the best. You are playing a dangerous game, friend.
There's so many really important themes to take away from this film. It's essentially a human rights story. I think perhaps the biggest takeaway is that even though this is a period drama, it still handles very modern issues, which is profoundly depressing.
This world is painful for us, my son, but there is always the choice to fight.
Chevalier, directed by Stephen Williams and written by Stephanie Robinson, is set for wide release on April 21st.